For more on the unrest and what it means for Iran's future, we're joined by Vali Nasser, who was born in Iran. He's a professor at the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy at Tufts University and the author of Forces of Fortune, The Rise of the New Muslim Middle Class and What It Will Mean for Our Future. Vali Nasser, welcome to the program. Nice to see you again.
Thank you.
Are the continuing protests in Iran, like the ones that we saw today, still about the disputed election from last summer, or is something else going on now?
Well, they are about the elections. They're also about the political conditions in Iran, but they reflect something which is a bit bigger, and that is two different visions of Iran. One was that's being promoted by Iran's middle class, which is tied to the youth culture, that is tied to the private sector economy in Iran, who want much better relations with the world, want economic openings, want opportunity, want to consume and live better. And those forces in Iran, which are supported by the authorities, who are resisting these changes. And that is really the underlying problem that then keeps manifesting itself.
Right, and this is very much the theme of your book. It is about the middle class in the Muslim Arab world. What does that middle class mean for Iran's relationship with the United States and the West?
Well, as I discuss in the book, a middle class began to emerge in Iran in the 1990s when the economy began to open up. And like middle classes in Turkey, in Malaysia and Indonesia, as well as middle classes everywhere else in the third world, they like to live better, consume better, they want cultural and political freedoms. They also would like opportunities for doing business with the world. So they gradually became the supporters of reform and change in Iran. And ultimately, it is this middle class, whether it's able to do what it's supposed to do, that will decide whether Iran will open up or not, or which direction it will go in.
Right. And how long do you think that this process might take? How long before we see political change in Iran? And are economic forces alone enough to bring about that kind of change?
Well, economic forces are the most important thing. That change does not happen in a vacuum. New ideas, reformist ideas need an anchor, and that anchor has to be a social class that has a vested interest in change and vested interest in prosperity. We cannot time it, but what we know is that the train has left the station. You know, there is a middle class, it wants change. Now the question is, how long will it take for it to assert its demands?
And in the meantime, what can the United States do to sort of foster that process, the process of democracy, to help bring about change? And how would that be viewed by Iranians?
Well, it's a problem that we have to confront not just in Iran, but across the Muslim world, where we would like to see change everywhere. And this requires engagement politically, culturally, as well as economically, to empower that segment of society in the Arab world and Iran that would like engagement with the world, would like to turn against extremism and authoritarianism. So we have to do what we did with middle classes in India, in Asia, in Latin America, as we help those areas of the world to also join the global economy.
Okay, thank you very much, Vali Nasser. Good luck with your book.
Thank you.